All right, today we're talking about a guitar. And what a guitar. Today we're talking about the Abasi Concepts Space T. Check it out. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to give you just some sound demos in a full mix context. So where do I begin with this? Well, we've got the roasted neck and body, roasted basswood body. We've got the rich light fretboard. We've got locking tuners. It's got the active pickups. They've been noiseless from my experience, and it's got the little charging port right near the plug. Don't know if you could see that well. All right, so this guitar plays better than you think it would. It's got the traditional, like a thicker kind of neck to it, so it's not like a thin shredder. You can still shred on it, surprisingly. It's still got some meat to the neck though, so you can do like the thumb around, like the bends. Feels pretty good to do that. The pickups sound pretty good. They can handle like low gain stuff, high gain stuff. They sound pretty much like single coils. It's got the voice switch right here. Now the interesting thing about it, it does change the frequency response, but it doesn't change the volume. So you don't have to worry about volume compensation when you switch between voices. It's got like more like a thinner single coil voice, and it's got like something with a bit more mid-range to it. So both are pretty usable. And I do have to say the body on this is pretty comfortable too. This contour right here really fits the forearm nicely. Overall, it's a pretty pleasant playing experience, but there is kind of an elephant in the room if you look at it, this overhang thing right here. And so let's talk about that too. Now, if you look at the back, the neck does go deep into it right here. So you can slide your thumb in. The thing is, obviously you can't do the thumb over the neck bending like you can up here. Now that's okay if you're trying to play all ergonomic like, and it does fit in the lap pretty ergonomically thanks to this cutaway here. But if you're trying to do the thumb over the neck bends for like a blues kind of style or something like that, you can't do that. You got to do just the thumb behind the neck. You got to get creative with how you reinforce your bend. So if you find yourself thumb over the neck bending past the 12th fret like this guitar just isn't going to work, unfortunately. So the design is based off of the 8 string. The 8 string is the original right here, and you can see it also has the cutaway here, but because the 8 string neck is longer, wider, you can actually reinforce your bends here without your thumb running out of room. So it's less of a problem on one of these versus with the standard width of a 6 string neck right here. Your thumb, I mean, it depends on how long your thumb is, how big your hands are, but if you've got hands of about this size, your thumb is going to run out of room and you're just going to have to use finger strength alone to bend. I've noticed that on the Master Series, at least the Master Series 6 strings, there is more to the cutaway than just at the end of the neck. So these are cut differently than those. And another key difference is where the input jack is, or the output jack. You could see on here it's on to the side, but on here, it's down there. So what that means is if you're playing classical style, then the jack, the cable, is actually going to get in the way of your leg. So that's kind of interesting. But you kind of have to be playing with this guitar higher up anyway, even when you're standing up, so that your thumb, has room so you're not contorting your wrist too much. Another point I want to make, another note, is that I've got this in drop C. Drop C is just my favorite tuning for the range. I use it a lot, not just for metal, but for basically everything I do, on 6 strings anyway. And so the tuning on this, it's okay. The tuning stability isn't incredible, which on a regular guitar, sure, that's fine. But on an instrument like this, at this price point with all these features, it's got the rich light, it's got everything roasted or baked or whatever the process is called. It's a little disappointing how often it goes out of tune. You just have to adjust it pretty frequently. And maybe that's because you have limited intonation options with this vintage style bridge, maybe. Like, it gets into the tuning just fine, but it just drifts out of tune every now and then. I haven't really experimented with putting it into standard tuning or not, because I basically never use standard tuning. So overall, do I recommend this guitar? Well, if you're okay with always playing thumb behind the neck, you're okay with 22 frets, and you like the 2 single coil pickups with the 3-way switch, and you're okay with tuning every now and then I say go for it, because this guitar is awesome. It plays really well, it looks really nice, it gets compliments. I'd say though, if you do bend strings or even play with your thumb behind the neck more, then this kind of single cut will be a problem, and you might want to look elsewhere. I know Abasi Concepts, they've been coming out with the Emmy line, which is the double cutaway. You could look into those. Obviously there's all kinds of Telecasters and Telecaster clones out there. You can look into those too. So I got this guitar to fill like a niche, like kind of the clean tone, the single coil stuff. But as I've gotten better working with plugins, because I use plugins in this apartment here, and as I've gotten other guitars, I'm starting to favor like the humbucker kind of neck pickup sound and the split coil sound for that too. And I've been using this guitar less and less. And that's more of just a subjective thing for me and less knocking on the quality and sound of this guitar. So overall, would I recommend it? I'd say yes. If it's in the price point you want and it's what you're looking for, I'd say go for it. Personally, I don't think I'm going to be keeping it that much longer. It's an awesome guitar, but I'm just not finding uses for it anymore. But overall, I'd say it's pretty cool. So there you have it. We're going to have the sound demo next. But in the meantime, if you found this useful, if you want some more information, have more questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section below. And as always, do the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, print it out, mail it, etc. Awesome. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and now enjoy the sound.